All right, let's turn to a consumer alert. More and more of us are taking on jobs with less and less predictable income. Now, unfortunately, our bills, they keep coming on schedule. So how do you navigate around that? Here with everything you need to know is Shari. Thanks so much for taking the time to be here today. So if someone finds himself in this situation, what do they do about it?
Well, we're seeing this more and more because employers are cutting back on hours due to Obamacare, wanting to avoid that. A lot of the jobs we added back in after the economic crash were part-time, and phenomenons like Uber and Airbnb are adding a lot to self-employment income. So the very first thing when you're making that shift is to change really your whole mindset and lifestyle for at least 6 months until you get at least some patterns in that predictability. You need to sit down and figure out what your very, very bare minimum expenses are, set up a separate account, and deposit every single penny you earn into that account until your bare minimum expenses are met. You'll get an idea of how many hours you need to be working, how much you need to be making. Anything after that is disposable income, but that's the very first thing.
Very first thing to do, and you think about some of the challenges you could face, when you get yourself in this situation compared to when you're a regular employee. What would be some of those?
Well, the top one is actually taxes, income taxes and Social Security and Medicare taxes, because folks just aren't accustomed to having to pay those themselves. So particularly if you have any self-employment income, you're going to need to make deposits quarterly, so in January, April, June, and September. And what the IRS says is as long as you deposit 90% of the income of the taxes you actually owe on the income you earn, you're not going to have to pay underpayment penalties or late fees. The problem is with unpredictable income, you don't know what that's going to be. And so there's a safe harbor. If you deposit your taxes based on 100% of what you earned last year, you're safe and you're not going to have late fees. The other biggies, though, are your retirement savings need to be relooked at, and that emergency savings account that we encourage everyone to have. Normally, if you have a job, 3 to 6 months, but when you have unpredictable income, we're looking at least 6 months in an emergency fund.
And just circling back to the beginning a little bit, why do you think that more people than ever appear to be in this situation?
Well, again, it's really because of this on-demand employment economy. Folks, bigger employers are looking to part-time employees and only calling them in when they need them. So a lot of people don't even know what their hours are going to be from week to week. And again, a lot more self-employment opportunities. Uber has had a huge impact. Yeah. About a third of today's workforce, that's over 50 million people, have some form of either part or full-time self-employment income. So it's a shift that people really need to sort of think ahead and make those changes, financial changes, to get used to.
All right, really important stuff to know. Shari, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Holly, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. More consumer news to tell you about.